Hi guys, it's Beth here. I am with another reaction video. And sorry I didn't do this early today. I was so busy caught up with stuff, so I didn't have enough time. So, we're reacting to Blue Ink Chapter 6, and it's called Across the Multiverse. Now, this is a little sad, so be prepared for this. And as always, I will put the original person who narrated this in the description below. And I got and I got the captions on so you can see the subtitles of what they're saying. And yeah, let's get into it.
Blue Ink by Elizabeth Scarhart and Snowball the Snowflake. Illustrated by Snowball the Snowflake. Narrated by Elizabeth Scarhart. Chapter 6. Across the Multiverse. Undyne's plan was simple in concept, if complicated in practice. Ink told her that there were various points across the world that linked this universe with other universes, including the Antivoid. Undyne created a number of machines that did the opposite of what the bike did. They were disguised as normal objects that would be found in each place, Ink pointed out. From there it was just a matter of placing them and turning them on, which Papyrus and Sans did. Sans got the Royal Guard involved as well, so that they could ensure the devices were always on and functional while on patrol. Ink soon began to feel the effect of the devices as they were made and placed one by one. Each time one was activated, it got notably harder to enter the swap verse. But he was careful not to let Sans know of this. Sans was still overjoyed every time they met, and Ink wanted to keep it that way. Seeing Sans so happy made him feel happy. Still, he knew he had to tell him the truth. It wouldn't be fair for him to just stop coming with no explanation. After weeks, the last device was ready to be put into place. Ink approached Sans.
Hey, we've been working really hard on these. You want to take a break? A break? Ink, we're so close!
Sans exclaimed.
We can take a break when we're done.
I agree with Ink, Undyne said. We should call it a day. There's an anime special I want to watch starting in a few minutes anyway. I could use a smoke break myself. I'm all for a break, Papyrus agreed. Undyne had told him about Ink's dilemma. Papyrus had agreed not to say a word.
Fine, I know when I'm outvoted.
Sans sighed. Ink grinned.
Come on. I still need to have a ride on your motorbike. Well, conscious anyway. Besides, I want to show you something. What about Arrow?
Sans asked.
I'm pretty sure he's recovered by now. We'll keep the ride in the Antivoid short, and I'll protect us.
Ink promised.
Please, Sans, I really want to ride it, and what I have to show is nothing short of amazing.
Sans shrugged, and the two headed back to Snowdon where the motorbike was. The two mounted, Ink sitting behind Sans.
You holding on tight?
Sans looked back as he started up the engine. Ink nodded, and Sans pressed the button that opened the way to the Antivoid. He rode through, Ink's scarf whipping in the air. Ink grinned, holding on tighter to Sans. This really was fun. He'd never gone so fast in his life. After letting Sans ride around blindly for about 10 minutes, he navigated Sans to the zipper. The two dismounted, and this time carefully brought the motorbike in with them as to not be detected again.
That was so much fun.
Ink was all smiles.
Undyne really left you wanting for nothing for transportation to the Antivoid. Yeah, Undyne never holds back when it comes to inventing. There's a good reason she's the royal scientist. Anyway, what did you want to show me?
Sans asked.
It's this way.
Ink waved Sans to follow him. He led to a locked door which Ink unlocked with the handle of his paintbrush. Inside was white, like the rest of the Antivoid, but with endless papers spiraling around slowly. On them, Sans could see humans and monsters, doing about everything, often dressed in certain ways. Some of them looked like people he knew, others didn't.
What is this? This is where I keep tabs on everything. Each of these papers has a record of one of the countless universes and timelines there are. This is what Error wants to destroy. This is what I protect.
Ink told him.
I want to show you the universes and Well, I can't say yes to all of these, as some of them are a bit hostile, but I figured you could pick any you particularly wanted to see. I thought you used paint to visit universes,
Sans said, forcing him to turn away from the papers all around him and look at Ink.
I do. This is more of documentation.
Ink explained.
Once you choose a view, we'll return your motorbike back to your universe, and then I'll get us to all the other universes in the way only I know how.
Sans was there for 30 minutes choosing, before he finally settled on a handful of papers. He showed them to Ink, who only said no to 2 of them, and wrote down the names of the others on his scarf so he'd remember which ones to take him to. Sans returned his motorbike to the swap universe, and the 2 set off by paint. The first universe he showed him had 2 skeleton dogs playing together in the woods while a kind-hearted version of Groby watched them. Ink and Sans hid in a tree. At one point, Ink painted a ball and threw it down to the dogs. The first one tackled it without a single thought, happily rolling around in the snow with it. The bigger one seemed more suspicious. It arched its back, and much to Sans' amazement, became a much younger version of Sans. Sans then took the smaller dog off, scolding it gently. The smaller dog whimpered, but also shifted into a young papyrus. Sans watched in amazement, wishing he and Papyrus could do that. Next, Ink showed him the underwater world Ink had saved before all this started, painting air bubbles and flippers for himself and Sans, of course. Sans smiled, seeing a beautiful version of Queen Toriel with a long, shimmering fishtail wander about her home in some ruins. She apparently knew Ink because Ink greeted the Queen as a friend and told her a few jokes, making her laugh. Sans was also introduced and told a few jokes to the good-humored Queen. Then Ink took Sans to what looked like a giant laboratory. It seemed abandoned at the moment, but Ink told Sans that was because the test subjects were currently resting. He then grabbed 2 gun-like objects and handed one of them to Sans. Ink shot at 2 different walls, and 2 portals opened up, allowing Ink to exit through one side room and enter through the other. Ink grinned, and the 2 of them started up a massive game of tag using portals created by the guns. The next world showed a home exactly like the one he knew, except everyone was switched around. He saw himself in a hoodie, acting lazy, and his brother energetic and in a scarf. Undyne was the captain of the Royal Guard instead of Alfie's, and Groby owned the most popular restaurant in town. Ink told Sans that this was the first universe created in their particular multiverse, and that he and Era came from a specific timeline in this universe. At last, the 2 were in an air zone on a moon. All around them were nothing but stars.
Nothing like space for some proper stargazing.
Ink smiled to Sans, who was transfixed on them.
Papyrus would love this.
Sans told Ink.
He and I go stargazing all the time. He's more into the science behind them, but I think they're just beautiful. It's funny though, those gems don't look like stars twinkle. I always thought real stars do too. It depends on where you are. Being surrounded like this though is just as cool if you ask me.
He turned to Sans.
So, did you like seeing all those places today?
He asked.
It was fantastic. You really get to see all those universes?
Sans asked.
Them and more.
Ink told him.
I wish I had time to show you all of them.
Sans nodded.
You have a favorite? A favorite?
Ink laughed a little.
Well, I love every single one of them. They're all like treasures, precious to those who live in them and to me. But if I was held at knife point and asked to choose a favorite, I'd have to say yours, if only because you live in it. I'm cheating.
Sans laughed, sitting up.
It's the truth.
Ink replied, shrugging as he also sat up.
Don't get me wrong, every universe is amazing. But yours is the only one I have a close friend in. Other friends I've made don't get to know me the way you have. Like I said, you treat me like an equal.
Sans smiled, looking up at the stars.
I really do want to show this to Papyrus.
Ink felt his heart break. There had been a reason he'd done this after all. He wanted to make his last day with Sans something they both remember their whole lives. But he had to tell Sans the truth now.
That may not be possible. Why not?
Sans turned and was startled to see huge tears rolling down Ink's face. Ink curled up, holding his knees close to his shaking body.
Ink, why are you crying? Sans, something I have to tell you.
Sans could barely understand Ink through his tears.
I don't know how to break this to you, but Sans, I think there's something you didn't consider when you decided you wanted to permanently keep Error away. You're worried?
A broken voice interrupted them.
Well, to be continued. Again. And sorry if you heard me cough again. And honestly, I can relate to Ink Sans when he said that he never had friends who treated him the way he wanted to be treated, except for Underswap Sans. That's honestly how I felt when I met Katea and the rest of my school friends. I mean, to me, well, except for the part when he said, back in the last episode, where he said that they don't understand that I also need things too. For me, when he said that, mine is a little, the way I'm gonna put it, it's a little different. People don't understand that I'm a human being too, and that I also can feel feelings, or that I can feel the way they can feel. Some people take me for granted is because, well, they think I'm, well, strange or different than other people. And some people find that cool that I do look I'm a little different and act different, but some people just don't look at me the same way that my friends do. But ever since I met Katea and the rest of my friends from school, I never felt happy. I never felt happier than I am with them. They made me feel something that I never felt. I never had friends in my life. And I never felt like I was a part of them. But I do feel like I'm a part of them now. And I got more friends. I also have Poco, Birdie, Toxin Galaxy, Sonic, William, Xeno, and so much more. Even Delencia, I can't forget her either. I'm so happy that I have you guys and my friends who treat me the same way I want to be treated. The way that where people can respect me for the way I am and not take me for granted. My friends never took me for granted in not a single thing they would take me for granted. They haven't. Even Birdie, Poco, Delencia, and Toxin Galaxy, and Xeno, William, and Sonic. They also never took me for granted. Katea never took me for granted, and the rest of my school friends never took me for granted. Not Delencia either. And I never took anybody else for granted because I'm not that kind of person. Unless somebody disrespects me, then I'll take them for granted. Because I don't want to be disrespected. Especially in my life that I'm going through right now. And I already been through enough as it is, so I don't want any more trouble. Some people go through with that. And to tell you the truth, I have been lying and I've been pretending to be happy for the people I care about. Like people say, you wear a mask to hide your true feelings. I wore a mask that made me happy even though I'm sad. Because I didn't want to let anybody down. I didn't want to make them feel like I didn't want them to make them feel like it was their fault, that they were never there for me. So I kept pretending to be happy, and it made them happy, but it didn't make me happy yet. It was like that for years until everything changed. I'm more happy, I have more friends, and this is gonna sound a little cheesy, but I made a list of how many friends I have over the years. And and hold on a minute. I'm gonna go get it. And sir, if you heard something, I was eating ice cream. Chocolate ice cream, to be exact. I wonder where I put it. I think I wrote it down in my journal. I have a journal and a diary to write down my feelings, to write down if I'm having a good time or I'm having a bad time, or how I'm feeling for the past years. So hold on a minute. I just need to find the page that I wrote down. I think it's in here somewhere. Yep, right here. I just have to count. So if you're hearing me counting, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I am done counting. There are some that I missed seeing, but there are a few that I do see. But guess how many friends I have? 33 friends over the years. Oh, and I couldn't forget about Angel Red Medina and Master Joel the Legend. Can't forget about those two. And Nightmare Gotcha, since I miss him too. Nightmare Gotcha left is because he finally got what he wanted. He had so many subscribers, so many people that loved him and loved his videos, and they treated him with respect. So he finally got what he wanted, so he ended his journey right then and there. And he let Blueberry's Cloud come in to take his place. And she's doing good too. She's making really good videos, but she's also going through a hard time. A very hard time, way more than I was. So she's also been feeling a lot of depression, and so go and support her too. She definitely needs it. She's been going through a rough time, so she's been making videos of her sad past and of how sad she is. And, well, she's not doing too good. But she's hanging in there. She's staying strong. She's not letting those haters who keep calling her fat, ugly, she's not beautiful. She's not letting those kind of people get to her. So she's like me. Everybody on YouTube that has depression feels the same way we're all feeling. It's not uncommon that people have depression. Everybody gets it. It's a common feeling. Everybody feels depressed. Everybody feels sad, upset, alone, scared, nervous, anxious, happy. They feel all these feelings that we all have that made us human beings in the first place. Without feelings, for me, I don't know, I would be emotionless. I wouldn't feel anything. That could happen. You just won't know it will. It'll just like it'll just be there unexpectedly without us knowing. Also, I've also talked a long time ago. I also talked with some autistic people that has Asperger's syndrome. And honestly, they were kind of surprised how I can understand them very well. So they're so surprised. And it actually amazes people that I understand how people with autism feel. I don't mind if I have a friend who is autism, bisexual, gay, or transgender, or anything that is different than other people's perspective or their characteristics in life. I don't care if I have a friend like that. They are still amazing people, whether or not they are transgender, gay, bisexual, or any of that. I don't mind having a friend like that. My friend Toxin Galaxy is lesbian, so that's not different either. And I have a school friend, Sequoia, who's bisexual, who likes girls and boys. And I never had a friend who's transgender, but if I met one who's transgender, like who used to be a girl but slowly turning into a guy, or a guy slowly turning, well, I don't know if I want a friend who is a guy that slowly turns into a girl. I don't know if I want that kind of friend, but I don't mind having a friend who is a girl that slowly turns into a man. Well, a boy, I mean. But that's transgender people who they don't want to be themselves anymore. They want to be another gender. So they cut their hair, they flatten their chest for girls, and they do anything to get rid of their girl parts or boy parts to make themselves into a different gender. I don't want to do that to myself because I like the way I am, but I don't mind having a friend who is transgender. Because there are some people out there who hate transgender people because they think it's gross, they think it's disgusting, nasty. That is, those kinds of comments. But I think transgender people are awesome. And I support those kinds of people too. It doesn't matter if you're transgender or being different. You're standing out and you want to stand out. If that's your choice, if that's your decision, you want to stand out because other people think you're different, go ahead. It's okay to stand out. I mean, sometimes I feel like I stand out from other people. That's okay if you want to stand out. You don't have to be afraid to stand out. You can always count on yourself and your friends that need you. And there are hundreds of people who are so different they want to stand out because of that. Some people make the decision, I want to stand out. I want to be different. I want to change my looks. Don't change your looks because people tell you to. You have to decide whether or not you want to change your looks and your personality and your characteristics. That's your decision. If you want to change yourself, don't let other people decide for you. That's not okay. You can't always let people talk for you. Speak yourself. You have to learn to speak up. I mean, It's hard for me. I try to speak up, but I can't. So I let my mom do the talking for me. Because I'm afraid what people are going to do to me if I speak up. That's what I'm afraid of. But I am learning to speak up for myself. I really am. I'm trying. But it's okay if you stand out. That's anybody's choice in life. So don't let people talk for you, decide for you, or even let you obey them. That's not how it's supposed to work. You obey them. You speak up for yourself, and you decide what you want to do for your life. Don't let those kinds of people do that to you. They want attention. They want to have what they want. I mean, they want much attention. They want money. They want to be noticed by other people. And they don't. And they will gossip behind your back. That is for some people who have who are toxic and who do not respect others the way they want to be respected by. Those kinds of people are jerks. I've never dealt with those kinds of people before, but if that ever came across in my life, I will not talk to those people. I will just ignore them, walk away, and pretend like nothing happened. Because those kinds of people, they think they want to be your friend, but like I said, I can tell when people are good or bad, and that kind of person will be a bad person. They pretend to be good, but they're actually bad. Those kinds of people can also be bullies too in high school. For popular girls, for jocks who are supposed to be so-called, that there are those kinds of people out there that we all should not talk to, look at them. That we should not look at them, speak to them, step foot into their place, or set foot into wherever they're going, or even try to make friends with them. There are some people who are bad and some people who are good. Some people think there are such thing as good and bad in this world. I do believe that there is good and bad in this world, but there's no such thing as good or bad. We just have people who do bad decisions and that make the wrong choice. And they think that's what's right for them. It's really not. But I hope, guys, that all of us, me and you, I hope we can all stay strong, stand up for ourselves, and speak up for ourselves. We don't need people to speak up for us. We can speak up ourselves. We just have to find our voice. Our voice is in our body somewhere. We just have to find it. Something that can trigger us in order to get that voice. We have a voice that we need to use that's somewhere deep inside our soul. We just have to find that voice and use it to stand up for us, for ourselves. And I'm still trying to find my voice, but I'm getting better at it every single day. Because I can't let any other people stand in my way for who I am, for what I am, and who I want to be. Nobody who is bad will ever stand in my way. I am not that kind of person to ever let them obey me. To let me obey them. They obey me. I don't need to obey them. They obey me. Because we got to stand up for ourselves in order to survive, in order to succeed. We can't give up. I can't give up. I'm so close to reaching my dream. If I let people make me obey them, I will not get anywhere. You know where I get at? Nothing. Not a single thing in life. So let's do our best to speak up for ourselves and not let anybody stand in our way. We are who we are, not what they tell us. We have a choice that we can decide ourselves, not other people. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next reaction video tomorrow. Good luck, guys.